Hello everyone. Happy Friday, guys. It's a Friday afternoon, and today I would like to give a little bit of attention to people who have been writing letters and sharing information or asking for an advice. I want to remind you that I do not um, consult via emails unless you've purchased my email consulting service, and that's how you prefer to have your situation be discussed. And if you want to get my insight, we could do it, but you have to sign for the email service because um, as anybody who have an online business, giving into depth consultation via email is required some effort from both sides. Live consultations are obviously available, but if you have a letter or a question that you would like to be answered and you would like me to read it online via my live shows, you can do that. And you can get some advice from the viewers. You can get a little bit of an insight for me if I would consider the topic interesting for other people. So that's another option. Today it is something different. A few weeks ago, I received an email from a gentleman who works in organization that is dealing with all kinds of people, and he came across some Ukrainian wives who live in US and having husbands here in US and getting accustomed, learning the language, maybe looking for new profession and things like that. And one thing that he noticed in common between the Ukrainian women that he met is that all of them are controlled by their husbands to the level as if they were children. So they do not drive on their own. Some of them might not even have a car or driver license. They not going to do anything um, by themselves, as if somebody needs to hold their hand. And I'm really grateful for the gentleman who sent me that letter. It's such a huge and important topic. We talk about how you can get scammed by Ukrainian women. Right now I'm talking about if Ukrainian women come in US and then she maybe just use you to get a green card, which I have many videos about this. But we never talk about the situation when Ukrainian women come to United States and she doesn't get treated fairly, and she doesn't even know that she can require those things. Guys, I want you to be fully aware that if you bring a foreign fiance, in this case we talk about Ukrainian, Russian, post-USSR ladies, she is not a toy. She is not a pet. She is not a child. She is a separate individual human being. And the best way to completely ruin the relationship is to take that personal space from the lady away, is to dominate completely her environment, is to be controlling, and not let the person to start developing. I would be the first person to tell you that yes, when the Ukrainian lady just come to us, she is like a 6-year-old, because I've been there, done that. But we all learn how to evolve. At first you don't drive a car, you maybe don't know how to drive, then you start learning. At first you might not have your own vehicle, but then you do. And by the way, in many states, in United States, in US, if you do not provide a car, doesn't have to be a luxury car, but if you do not provide a vehicle, that could be counted as abuse. And I tell you why. Because in United States, if you live in the suburbs, like 80% of people do, there are no public transportation. So the vehicle is a basic human need. You know, when your car is broken, it's in US, if you live in a small town or suburb, it's like you don't have legs, especially if you live in a country. I was really happy to live on a main street, even though some people consider that crowded. But for me, because you can walk with your legs. If your car is on repair or something happened to your vehicle, you can walk to the pharmacy, you can go to the store, you can go to the post office. People from Ukraine and Russia have this mentality. We either live somewhere central or where everything is. So not only the adjustment to be in another country is difficult, but if you live in a smaller place, in a smaller town, and you also cut off from the communication, from the being able to get around, I can guarantee you your relationship will have a big shake right there, right then, if you will not help your lady to adjust. And having everything under control will really be very hard, and it will take longer for the person to adjust, and they might learn to hate you because you cannot have love without freedom. You cannot have love without wanting your person that you're with to be able to have a little bit of their own life, make their friends, create, because at first when she comes, she's gonna have mostly your friends. She has a vehicle. If she has freedom to go places, she will create her friends. Sometimes, most of friends I have, I just ran into them or went to an event. If somebody holds you that you cannot leave the house without them, it makes it very hard. So guys, back to the actual topic, be very aware. If you're not ready to give somebody freedom, if you think that you can control somebody, you're so wrong. Ukrainian, Russian, Slavic women, they like the leadership, they like to know that they got your support, but they also need to know that um, they have, they still have a personality, they still have some freedom, they have a way to express their personality. Maybe they want to be mobile. At first they might be not insisting on having the car right away, the driver license right away, but you have to understand that it's really abuse. Not only it's officially declared in some states for immigration, you have to check into that, but even if it wouldn't be, why would you want somebody to lose themselves? uh, I've met somebody last year, a lady who, she has two kids. She's not from Ukraine, she's from another country, but she has two kids. She never, she had never been given an opportunity to drive, to learn driving and to have a vehicle. It's like you are purchasing a maid. It might be convenient and ego satisfying for you, but one day you're gonna pay for all the person's tears, because at first they might even not know what it is, but with years they will build resentment toward you, and then it would be your fault and your responsibility for hurting somebody, for just really crossing the boundaries. We don't live in a slavery times. We don't live, somewhere in a different civilization. There are no big animals, dinosaurs hunting us, and cyber, these tigers with a big teeth. These things are all gone. It will take some time to adjust, but uh, if you want a happy life, do not try to put somebody in a box. I know some of you guys are feeling a little bit insecure because your lady is really good looking. You're afraid that, she will go out and talk to people. But this is it's really irrelevant. I see that comment some time ago. It's really irrelevant. If somebody want to be dishonest with you, they're gonna do it when they feel like doing it, even if they don't have a car. They can call an Uber. If they want to have some entertainment. This is just basic human rights. The second one is, as this gentleman who wrote a letter to me, he mentioned it's just this emotional domineering, this emotional, I'll go here with you, I'll go there with you. If you need to, yes, the lady needs you to go with her at first. Please don't twist my words. Absolutely. When you need to do some work on the documents, when you need to go apply for Social Security, when you need to, at first go some places to eat and to shop, it might take several months. I literally felt that people are geniuses when I came here. I could not understand how somebody is driving on a highway and they know where to turn. It's nothing but forest and land and forest and land. And I was like, wow, these people are brilliant. They know where to turn. I just didn't know that there is a highway and it has numbers. I didn't know the numbers means city, because I've never used, in Ukraine we usually go, when we travel, we go through the city and the buildings are different. The streets are different. The city looks different. In US, we have this, what I personally call an American mile. And it's pretty much looking the same in all the suburbs. So if you guys didn't know, an American mile, it's where there is a mall, there are shops, library, restaurants, bars, and offices. So I call that American mile. You will have to show your lady what to do, how to get around, and it's actually can be a wonderful experience when you can go back and say, hey, do you remember I didn't know how to put gas in my car. Do you remember how you took us in this lovely restaurant for lunch? These all things can be so sweet, because when you discover something with somebody and they experience this for the first time, it can be a treasurable experience that you put in your box. And you can always go to those memories. But if you never improve and 10 years later you have health condition and you've never let your wife drive, understand how the banking works, understand how to write a check, understand how to put gas in your vehicle, could you even imagine what kind of stress the person will go through? Not only possibility of, taking care of you, or maybe, something will happen that we don't know. I lost the dearest friend just a couple months ago, and nobody had the warning signs. So you not only will wreck your relationship, your connection, and your love being strong, but you also will make a huge disservice to a person in case if they will be left alone, which at some point it has chances to happen. We were not, we don't know. Maybe you will have to travel. I have a lady, and she told me when a lady friend, and she told me at first when her husband had been traveling just 3-4 days, she was terrifying at the house. Because if when you're living in a house, sometimes it's making noise, and you think somebody's breaking in. You don't know how to use the gun. You don't know how to where to call, what to do. So you have to build that confidence in the person. As women, we love spending time with you. We appreciate when you take us, when you're willing to go with us, when you want to spend extra time with us, but we also have to have our personal space. So I felt that that was a powerful message. I'm so grateful to the gentleman that wrote that to me, because I've never addressed that. If you want to have somebody here, you have to prepare to treat them well. They are not a pet, not a toy, not a child. You gotta have that integrity in realizing those just human normal needs. I'm so glad that you will watch this video. Alex, thank you so much for support. It's great to see you on my live stream. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And it's good information for you as well, but I know you would never do this to the person. And another thing, guys, this all is going to yield. It's not like she's going out of the airport the first day. She's like, okay, I need to know and understand everything. In fact, you should give these things by the little dosages, because it's overwhelming. You're talking to a person or listening to a person that never had a credit card in their life, never used PayPal, never bought anything online, never drove, and never understand how this all works. But 10 years later, it's been a progress, definitely. And still learning, still have to learn more and more. But people who come here, they learn quick. And once again, you have to give the person some space. Even sometimes it's just some time to be alone, because maybe you're one of those guys that you work from home. Your wife should be able to drive to the gym and have a workout, and go for a walk, go meet with somebody, or do some business. Because when you don't see each other for a while, good things are happening. You have a place to miss each other, and when you come back, you have something new to share. Some people have these things, they wanted to be together all the time. God bless them. But most of us need some personal space, because it just keeps you sane, and it gives you that space to looking forward and sharing. You know how awesome it is when somebody knocks on the door and says, hey, this meeting was amazing, I did this and that. So the woman, once again, will gain confidence. Her own, that she is not only an attachment to you, she is not only like a free app. Well, maybe not free, but an app. I'm just trying to be a bit humorous about it, but I'm very serious at the same time. She will feel that she is not only an extra, like something extra, that she is not an attachment and she doesn't exist without you, but she will feel confident that, I made a friend. I learned something new. I spot some opportunities. She might do something that you don't even expect. You don't even know. Our people are very good at spotting opportunities. She might come up with a business idea just running into somebody. I don't think I really need to prove more on this point. I'm pretty sure you guys, I see you very active in the chat. I'm going to read a few messages here. But I just want you guys to understand that you have to treat your wife as equal with support. But do not mix support with control, because they have nothing in common. And once again, in that letter, the gentleman was shocked, because he wrote me that these ladies, when they had a possibility to be in the room without the husband, I think it was something work related, They were kind of saying it's insane. He goes everywhere with me. He doesn't give me. And I understand some of these husbands might be just overprotective, and they want to make sure that their wife is not mistreated. I get this. And once again, for the first couple months, it's okay. But let the other personality grow and shine. You will only benefit from it. And then if you need to travel, if something happens or change, you know she will get adjusted and she'll be able to be an independent, normal person. Because it's cute for you when you have an exotic wife. It's cute, it's entertaining. But remember, she's not a thing, she's a human being, and she wants to be able sometimes to blend with people. You know, sometimes we want to be invisible, or you just want to be like everybody else because you get tired from attention. So I made my point. um, you also understand that if you do not follow these norms, you can get in a serious trouble. These women don't know that they can go and complain about it. And I hope that they won't need to. I hope that their husbands are just caring and overprotective, and uh, they will learn to listen and communicate that they've been overdoing things, right? Okay, so now I'm gonna read some of your chats. Thank you so much, guys, for being active and for your support and for the super chats. Thank you for appreciating my time. I feel that my day is not full unless I connect with you and share something I've learned. So, George, hello. Alec, I've already said hi to you and thank you. Bob saying it is sad. I agree. um, Brian is saying, hey, Brian. Brian is saying, need to give women support, not control. Yes, have to make sure that that is qualified as support. I agree. Thank you for the compliments once again. Thank you so much. Exactly. Brian is saying a Ukrainian woman is free when you fall in love with her. It's poor idea to change it. Exactly. You fall in love with her. Why? Because she had her own. She was doing what she liked. She had her own life. She wasn't an attachment to somebody, with the sad eyes and not be able to express. Every human being has a natural right to and need to be able to express themselves. Maybe it's doing crochets. Maybe it's I don't know, sewing, meeting friends, creating a business, going to school, going to work. Every person has this right of expressing themselves, so you can't take that away. And when they don't have it, very often they become very dull and sad. So they're kind of becoming a mental slave because it feels like they have no choice for things. It's not okay, guys. It's not normal. Thank you so much for the support. I didn't want you to feel that, oh my gosh, I am accusing men of being, but it was a fact that has been taking place, and I wanted you guys to know about that. Well, yes, you do it in a smart way, Brian. I'm not saying you just giving a vehicle to somebody who can't drive, but the thing is, in many states, you can pass driving exam in Russian or Ukrainian. Although, don't do this in Michigan, because in my experience, when I went to pass a driving exam in Russian, the translation was so bad that I was reading the questions, and I realized, oh my gosh, I must be real. Well, I don't want to call myself names, but you understand what I mean. I cannot understand the question. How I supposed to answer this driving test? The written exam. I don't get the question, and it's in my language. And I was just sitting and I was thinking, oh my gosh, I will never drive in my life now. I will never understand. And then it hit me like a ton of brick that translation was very incorrect. So the whoever translated the Russian test wasn't fluent in Russian at all, because it was extremely grammatically wrong, and Russian isn't the most easy language. So I'm so glad that realization came to me. Went to the window and I looked at the lady at the state office. She was like, I don't know. And she said, yeah, it's okay. She said, you might want to try English. And I tried English and I passed it. It was easy. So, but in some states that are more, maybe more developed, have a bigger Russian community, or even in the counties that have a bigger Russian community, they might have a Russian test for driving that is translated well, not through Google like that one was. I seriously, I just started to doubt my sanity and my intelligence that I couldn't answer a question in my own language. So just a warning that you have to know that. Also, you might know somebody who had passed driving, and let me tell you a secret: Russian people, when they pass driving test, they copy the answers for everybody else. So she might have some friends that have, like, answers, so she can have easier time preparing. I don't suggest cheating, but preparing. The power in getting the test, either English or Russian, and getting a driving permission, is that if you pass the test, they give you that slip so you can drive with somebody. This is where you can drive, and or she can drive and you sit near her. Now, if you're mentally sensitive, if you're not very like, you're sensitive, don't do that. Ask your brother, your neighbor, I don't know, a professional instructor, because I've heard many couples almost went to divorce after driving together and learning how to drive. So consider an instructor. They are not that expensive. They are $15 to $25 an hour, and he will teach you correctly. So if you need some more to expand on this, just contact me on my email, consultveronica@gmail.com, or comment under the video if you need some help, because it's too much information. Hi, Yelena. Driving in US is nothing compared driving to Ukraine. In Ukraine or Italy or Egypt, it's really easy. Sometimes, yes, when you have too many cars, you just have to be attentive, but or you go to a new area, it can be a bit intimidating, when you see all these huge highways and new bridges. When we were in Dallas last year, it would be difficult for me to kind of drive right away there, because everybody going so fast and all these new elaborate bridges. Woo! By the way, Alec was with us at my event, and Alec was one hell of a driver. Thank you for the fun experience, Alec. It's hard to forget. George Baker is saying, with your new Slavic wife, supposed to be a change of life for both of us. I'll treat her as my first lady, my soulmate, my best friend. True. Bob is saying another extremely valuable point. Bob Hoel, I don't know if reading it right, saying, I know one lady who went back to Ukraine. Her husband was a workaholic, and she was confined to the home and was starved for socialization. That is another awesome observation and great point, Bob. It is so true. In Ukraine, we might not have the right economy and this and that, and politics, But one thing we have is a social life. If you are living programmed and you live like a robot, and you barely have any time to spend with anybody, you have to plan ahead. You can't just leave somebody as a pet, as a puppy or a cat at home and go to work. And you know what cats do if you don't give them love. You know exactly what they do when you come back. So, and human beings are more complicated than cats. You have to plan ahead. I'm not saying if you're a dedicated man who works a lot, um, you can still plan something. You can connect her to Russian community. You can find English as a second language, all kinds of things. But please, please, please don't think that you can leave person home alone for the longest periods of times and come back. Especially if she is not for introvert. If she is not really an introvert. For some people it works. I had a similar experience for a while and it worked fine for me, but I cannot give you advice based on what fine for certain small group of people, right? That's why I try to not give that much of examples, because most Ukrainian people are very sociable and they can get extremely feeling down and depressed. So just to confirm that the social starvation, that's gonna be could be even another video. So Alec learned driving in Argentina. Yeah, I can tell. I can tell you knew what you were doing because you drove like a Ukrainian. Well, thank you for the compliments. Yeah, Alec, I want to tell you this. If you have patience and you're a good teacher, it can be a great experience. Or it can be a first reason for divorce. I'm talking this, I didn't have that experience. Um, Once again, don't take an example from me. I learned to drive in a heartbeat, but I did because I practiced in Ukraine, which is insane. There are no rules. So after driving a month just practicing in Ukraine, driving in US was easy. But several of my friends got into horrific fights driving with their husbands. Just saying, just saying. If you are patient, if you're a great teacher, it's great. Um, you can do it, but don't risk your relationship. I seriously, they were so traumatized by that experience. It's because when you have an instructor or a brother or neighbor, they're not gonna allow themselves. What they say is not gonna hurt you, but when somebody, your husband, your man tells you stuff, being emotional, you can say something offensive. So, well, thank you so much, everybody. I'm flattered. Yeah, the workaholic issue, guys, deserve a separate video and a separate topic. Yeah. Brian is saying in Ukraine they have potholes that will swallow a car at native drivers. Native drivers know where they are. It's true. So, quick tip: when you're in Ukraine, take an Uber. Uber, baby. I do not recommend to drive. Okay, so I hope all of you guys enjoying this wonderful day. I have some interesting things coming up for you on my channel. If you can, Sunday night, join us for just the modern dating challenge discussion at 8 p.m. It's going to be live at 8 p.m. Eastern, Sunday night. And I'm planning some more things. You will see the announcement. It will be announcement from my channel. Thank you so very much for coming, guys. I gotta keep going. I wish you a wonderful Friday. I hope this video was helpful. Please put some likes, put some comments so the channel can grow. Share some videos, do something